Good morning, grace and truth, and all of those that will be come in contact with this video. I want to say good morning or good afternoon to you. I pray that you rested well last night, and I pray that your day has been starting off blessed. I pray that you had a good time with your families yesterday, loving on one another, just talking one another and reminiscing with one another. It was such a wonderful and beautiful day. I spent it with my moms yesterday. It was such a wonderful day. And my daughter's birthday was yesterday as well. So I had a wonderful day yesterday. In my devotion this morning, I came across a verse after I got off my knees and prayed. God put something in my heart about loving. Because sometimes we can hold on to things in our hearts that God wants us to release. And sometimes people are not going to love you like you want them to love you. But God gave me a commandment. It's to love my neighbor as to love myself. And in Romans chapter 13, verses 8 through 10, it says, "Owe nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of God's law. For the commandments say, you must not commit adultery, you must not murder, you must not steal, you must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to others, so love fulfills the requirements of God's law." And so, first of all, I want to share this with you, that first of all, we must look at the word commandment. Commandment is something that God instructs his people to do, regardless of how they feel or what they've been through. It is not a suggestion. It is not a negotiation. It is simply something that God commands us to do. And this is how we meet the requirements. And the requirements of showing God's fruit, the fruits of his spirit, the characteristics of a good Christian is following those commandments, and those commandments to love. And I want to talk to you based upon the fact, or based upon this simple idea: loving your neighbor, a debt you will always have to pay. And so God here, or the writer here, is writing to a people who was under a dictatorship. They didn't like it, but Jesus wanted them to love in spite of what they were going through. And it says here, love your neighbor as yourself. First of all, you have to understand, how can you love someone when you don't love yourself? How can you inspire someone if you can't inspire yourself? How can you encourage or build somebody else up if you can inspire and build your own self up? It is very difficult. So we have to love ourselves. If God loved us, we should love ourselves. He created us out of his love. And so we have to love what he has created. Therefore, we can show love to somebody else. And our neighbor. Who is our neighbor? Our neighbor could be the person that we sleep next to every night. It could be the person that lives next door, or the person that we come in contact with one time in our community or in our surrounding areas. That means it covers everyone. Our neighbor is everyone. We must show love to our neighbors. Now, think about it. Think about this, though. Naturally so, you might get a neighbor that moves in next to you and lives in a neighborhood that don't even take care of their property. Your house is beautiful and you planted flowers and painted the house and it looks real good, but their house don't look that good. The grass is growing tall. They won't cut it on time. So what should we do? It is not our job to go over there and be nasty towards that person. It is not our job to hurt people because we may be hurt from what they did. It is not our job to ridicule them and put our feet on their neck and press down on them and make them feel bad for what they did not do or what they cannot do or what they even did to us. That is not our job. Our job is to love them in spite of them showing love to us. That is the true requirement of a Christian. And so we got to show love. So when somebody is not showing love towards you, we need to love on them in spite of. Help them to plant flowers. Help them to paint their fence. Help them to see their wrong by loving them. God bless you. I just want to encourage you to love in spite of. This is a debt that will never go away. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. God bless you.